page 15. Angles. So if you numbered your pages wrong, it might not be 15. The first one you should see is complementary, and it comes after your grade check study hall. So a complementary are two or more angles that add up to 90 degrees and make a right angle. So remember, right angles have that box in the corner, two or more, so it could be 3 lines where you have x, y, z, x plus y plus z equals 90 degrees. So this one, we have x and we have 45. Remember, we are adding them because when you add them up, it equals 90. So x plus 45 equals 90. The opposite of adding 45 would be to take 45 away. These are solving equations. This is what we're going to be doing constantly. 45 minus 45 is 0, leaving us with x equals, and 90 minus 45 is 45. Number 2. So it's still a complementary angle. So x plus 72 equals 90. The opposite of adding this 92 would be to take it away. 72. 72 minus 72 is 0, leaving us with x. 90 minus 72 is 18. Borrow 1 from our 9, giving us 8 and 10. Number 3, we have x plus 23 equals 90. The opposite of adding 23 would be to take 23 away. 23's cancel out, leaving us with x. 90 minus 23, we have 8 and 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. 8 minus 2 is 6. Oh, I guess we can fill these in. X is 45, 18, 67. Number 4, we have 81, and then we have our x. So x plus 81 equals 90. This one you might see the answer without having to solve for it. If you don't, we're going to be doing opposite. So the opposite of plus 81 would be to minus 81, or subtract. Our 81's cancel out. 0 minus 1 you can't do, so you have to borrow. 10 minus 1 is 9, and 8 minus 8 is 0. So x is 9. Number 5, we have x and 17. X plus 17 equals 90. Opposite of plus 17 is minus 17. Whoops, 17. 17's cancel out. 0 minus 7 you can't do, so we have to borrow again. 10 minus 7 is 3. 8 minus 1 is 7. So x equals 73. And last one, we have 43 and x. So x plus 43 equals 90. The opposite of plus 43 would be minus. 43's cancel out. 0 minus 3, we can't do that, so again we have to borrow. 10 minus 3 is 7. 8 minus 4 is 4. So x is 47. We're going to do one more. So here's my right angle. So I drew out a couple of them. This you don't necessarily have to do. You don't have to draw this. You have to do the problem, and you have to put the answer in, but you don't have to draw this on your paper. We have 45. A lot. We have x, we have x, we have 22. So you have 45 plus 22 plus x equals 90. Let's combine like terms. So we have two x's, two variables. So I'm going to have 2x plus, and then I have 45 plus 22, which is 67. Opposite of plus 67 is minus. 67's go away, leaving you with 2x. 90 minus 67, we have to borrow. 10 minus 7 is 3. 8 minus 6 is 2. The opposite of multiplying by 2 would be to divide by 2. And then you get x equals 23 divided by 2 is 12 and a half. Nope, 11 and a half. 11 and a half. So that's complementary. Complementary, you have a 90 degree, and all angles inside add up to 90. Next, we have supplementary, where 2 or more angles add up to 180. Again, there's the adding line. That also means your angles are drawn on a straight line. So you have a straight line, and then you have so many angles coming off of it. So this might be x, y, and x, because these two, whoops, this should be a y, look about the same. So you'd have 2x plus y equals 180. All of these you're solving for x again. So all of our problems are going to look like x plus the given, and they are all equal to 180. The opposite of plus 100 would be to minus 100. So then you get x equals 80. Number 2, we have x, we have 76. So x plus 76 equals 180. The opposite of a positive 176, because we need our variable by itself, is to subtract. 76's cancel out, leaving you with x. Can't take away from 0, so we have to borrow. 10 minus 6 is 4. 7 minus 7 is 0, and 1. So we have 101. Sorry, 104. Number 3, we have x and we have 34. So x plus 34 equals 180. The opposite of plus 34 is minus 34. Our 34's cancel out, leaving you with x. Can't take away from our 0, so we have to borrow. 10 minus 4 is 6. 7 minus 3 is 4. And then 1 minus 0 is 1. So 146. Number 4. We have x and we have 125. So x plus 125 equals 180. The opposite of plus 125 is minus, leaving you with x equals 55, I think, but we'll double check. Can't take away from 0, so we have 7. 10 minus 5 is 5. 7 minus 2 is 5. And 1 minus 1 is 0, so 55. Number 5, we have x. We have 163, so x plus 163 equals 180. The opposite of plus 163 would be minus. Our 163's cancel each other out, leaving us with x. 0 minus 3 we can't do, so we have to borrow. 10 minus 3 is 7. 7 minus 6 is 1. And 1 minus 1 is 0. So we get 17 degrees. Next we have x and we have 80. So we have x plus 80 equals 180. So minus our 80s to get x by itself. You get x equals 100. Another one, you don't have to draw this out, but you have to solve it. I'm going to leave it at that. It is a challenge one, but there's a couple things you know. You know that this is a right angle, so you should know how many degrees are here. And you know that this line, based on my drawing, goes right through the middle, so it cuts your right angle in half. So I'm going to label all those X's. They aren't drawn proportionately, but there's 3 of them. This one is half of 90, and this one you should know what it is. So you need to solve for this. You need to write out your equation, and you need to determine what the value of X is. Next, we have adjacent angles. These angles don't add up. These angles don't add up to anything in particular except the number it tells you or the number you are adding up to. They share a common line, which is this, and they share a point, which is this. So if we were to draw one, I would have this, and then this is a common line. So it is in yellow and in purple. It's a line that they share. You have 2 given angles, and the total of the 2 angles, total means to add, is x plus y. So on these ones, you're looking for something different each time. So this one, you're looking for the missing angle. When you look for a missing angle, you subtract. So we have 88 minus 58. 8 minus 8 is 0. 8 minus 5 is 3. So A is 30 degrees. For number 2, you're looking for the total from one side all the way to the other. Total means you add. So 125 plus 36. 5 plus 6 is 11. Carry your 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And your 1. 161 degrees. Looking for your total. You can do that. Looking for your difference, because you're looking for your missing part. Number 5, you're looking for that difference because you're looking for your missing. Same with number 6, you're looking for your missing. Same with 7 and 8. So on these, I wrote them down, you write them, but you also need to write your answer and have them circled. So that's adjacent. They just share one line, a point, and they do not overlap. Our last term is vertical angles. These angles are opposite of each other when 2 lines cross, and they are always equal. So if I had this, here's 2 lines that cross. If I were to label this one A, this one would also be A because they are the same measure. And if I were to label this one B, well, that's kind of hard to see. I'm going to label it yellow because that's what you can see. This one would then still be a same measure of yellow. And I'll write the B inside my yellow. So if this one is 61, across from it is also 61. If this one's 119, across from it's 119. So on this page, there is some math, but minimal. Because some of them you will have to solve. Like number 2, if this one's A, this one's A. If this one's B, this one's B. They are across from each other. This is where it doesn't work because all we have is that. But something we learned 2 pages ago was supplementary angles. And those angles are on a straight line because it equals 180 degrees. So from here to here is 180. And we know 35 of it. So we have 180 minus 35. Have to borrow. So I have 10 minus 5, which is 5. 7 minus 4 is 7 minus 3 is 4. And then we have our 1. So that means this angle is 145. So what is this angle? This is 145. This is 145. They are across from each other. We have to do math for 2 more. So same thing. This is, if I cover up the bottom half, this is a supplementary angle. It is a straight line. It equals 180 degrees. So we need to find that difference. I can't take away from 0, so I'm left with 7 and 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. 7 minus 1 is 6. 1 minus 1 is 0. So this angle is 69. This angle is 69. 5, same thing. We have to cover the bottom half. This whole angle is 180. So we need to figure out what is the difference. Difference is subtraction. We can't take from 0, so we borrow. 10 minus 8 is 2. 7 minus 2 is 5. So if this is 52 degrees, this is 52 degrees. And this is a no math one because they are across from each other. So if this one's 37, the other one's 37. If this one's 145, that one's 145. That is it for in your notebook. You can use these to help you with your Google Form assignment. Remember, these ones, you need to make sure you have your answers in. So that is it for this. You need to go back to Google Classroom and find the Google Form posted for today.